Hello. Today I'd like to show how to count vehicles, how to show vehicle count live and after the simulation as well. How can you deal with attributes if you have multiple runs and multiple time intervals or periods within an hour, let's say. Let's say if you want like you have 5 runs or 3 runs and you have 15-minute intervals. So how can we switch between those and show it for multiple locations in the same time as the simulation goes? So I just have a very simple setup here, and I want to show traffic flow on these two links. I place the data connection point on each. This is number 1, this is number 2, as the label shows. Go to evaluation, measurement definition, data collection measurement. And here you can add manually, or you can just click create generate all grouped or one by one. In our example, it doesn't matter, they would all do the same. So if you can see, the data collection number 1 has data collection point number 1. The data collection measurement 2 will have data collection point 2. This is the collection point. Measurement is the actual measurement. So you can have, if you have 2 lanes, you can merge, for example, 2 together here, and that will be one measurement. We go to evaluation configuration, and you need to make sure that this is ticked on. And I'm going to extract data for each 15-minute interval. So it's 900 seconds. And to time is 3.6 thousand. So that is for like an hour. From 0 to an hour every 15 minutes. Okay, so data will be aggregated for that 15-minute period, for 15-minute period, basically in an hour. Model runs for an hour, and I will run 3 simulations. It will be a multi-run. If I run the model, what I want is now, I want this to increase. So I'm going to deal with the label. You can access these graphic parameters by just clicking on this one or right click edit graphic parameters. Label attribute, we want to change that. And here we need to go to the data collection measurement. As you can see, there are multiple data collection measurement, or there can be, because as you see here, you can select multiple ones. So one data collection point can belong to multiple ones. So I can also add 2 there. So if I want to also add 2, so it can have, that's why here you have this icon, and that's why you have these count, min, max, sum, average, concatenate, and all these. When you have this situation, you always have the same setup. Seem to be aware that in all Vissim simulations, or sorry, in all Vissim versions, there is no such thing, for example, like exactly one. Exactly one gives you the data like if there is one object only. So here you can get the data. So what we want is just to show. So what you need to do is you need to select data collection measurement, go down to exactly one, and here we want vehicles. So open up vehicles, and here you have a lot of different attributes. So what do we need? Let's just go through. The first part is the simulation run. So at the moment we only have one run. So to make it a bit more, let me run one simulation first, full, and then when we are at the second one, it will make more sense. Okay, so let's have a look at now. So we have current run, we have average, we have standard deviation, minimum, maximum, and the actual simulation runs 3, 4. The previous one was number 3. This is number 4. If you go to evaluation, resource list, simulation runs, you can see how many simulations runs I have, or which one is the current one. So here you can access the data from those, but you can also take the maximum, the minimum, the standard deviation, average, or the current run. So we want the current run and we want the current interval. So after the X, this is about the interval. So last completed interval, the total, the average, standard deviation, and then you can access one by one each interval. So like the first 15 minutes, the second one. So this one, for example, the current run, this interval, and all vehicle types. If you tick the box in evaluation here, you would have all kinds of the data for all of those. So you would have like a lot of attributes there. So if I select current run, current interval, all types, I'm going to see the number in the current interval, which is the second. And this is increasing. And just wait for it. Now we started because we stepped into the third interval. So we are so the first interval 0 to 900, then 900 to 1.8 thousand, and then it keeps going. Then let me just run it to the end for the free runs. And for example, if you have, okay, so if you have like this multi-run, what you want to do is you want to take the average of those probably, and you can take whichever you want. So like average, the first 15 minutes, the second, or whichever you want. Or you can also take the average of those. So like the average 15 minute, and you average it across all the runs. So that would give you like the average. And if you want to remove the decimals, you just put 0 there. So this will be your average 15 minute across the free simulation runs. I hope this was helpful. Um, Let me know in the comment section if you have any recommendations for a future video. Thank you for watching.